When two such souls meet, there is no
Is
need
this
to
on?
rush, because both have been in the fire. Both have died to the
That's
old.
recording.
Both have bowed before the mystery
Hello?
of God's timing. This is what surrender creates: soul
All right.
recognition. Not a
Lights
fantasy,
out.
but a familiarity beyond the flesh. A knowing that says, I've met you in prayer before I ever saw your face. Because when
How do
you
I
surrender,
fix this
your
light?
spirit begins to speak the language of the divine. And only the one
Why does it
fluent
look
in that
pink?
language can hear your soul's voice.
Why does
They
it
do
look
not love
pink?
you for what you offer. They love
What's that
you for
about?
what you carry, because they carry it too. This is how God weaves soulmate stories. Two people, once broken, who allowed themselves to be healed.
What is
Two
that?
hearts, once wounded, who chose wisdom over revenge.
That's different.
Two paths, once wandering,
That's too bright.
now aligned through grace. And grace
That's
always
too
meets
bright.
the surrendered. You may not understand why the path was lonely, why the wait
What
was
in the
long,
world
why
is
the heartbreaks
happening?
came, but one day you'll look back and thank God for every delay, because it led you to someone who doesn't just love you,
That's got to be
they
too
honor your
light too.
becoming, and they don't interrupt your
This is
healing.
too light too.
They walk with it. You'll see that what felt like rejection was protection, that what
This
you
is too
thought
light
was
too.
the end was actually the beginning. But only surrender
I have
could
no
show
idea
you
what
that.
I'm doing. How am
Only
I going to
surrender
light this?
could make you soft enough to receive what doesn't hurt, strong enough to hold what doesn't run, whole enough to love without needing to fix. You become love.
What
And
is
so
this?
you
Is
stop
this any
chasing
better?
it. You trust that what mirrors your light will never
Is this
require you
better?
to dim it. Jung said,
I'm going to
what
sit
you
down
resist
here.
not only persists but will grow in size. So too with love.
Hello?
What you fear, you cling to.
Why is
What you
that
surrender
pink?
flows. You begin to feel light again, unburdened by what you thought you needed, unchained from the lies
Interesting.
that said you were too much or
All
not
right.
enough. Surrender heals your inner child, the one that once begged for love.
Should I
And it
switch
awakens
this?
your higher self, the one that no
How do I
longer
do
begs
this?
but blesses.
How do I do
You
this?
stop obsessing over texts, signs, or synchronicities,
Stand
because
that
your
up a little
soul
bit
knows
more.
what is for me will come with ease,
All right.
not anxiety. You no longer need
Stood
proof.
up a little bit
Your
more.
peace becomes the proof.
Alrighty.
Your joy becomes the signal, and your silence becomes a prayer. Surrender
Cigarette.
doesn't mean you stop
I'm a
loving.
smoker.
It means you love from overflow, not emptiness. You become a soul that gives without grasping.
I have no idea
receive
how I'll
without
ever
attaching.
quit.
You connect without losing yourself, because surrender taught you your value.
I do not know.
It showed you that you are not hard to love. You were just trying to be loved by those who
I'll
had
bet
to
I
surrender.
would be.
Now you wait differently, not from lack.
What the heck is this? Oh my gosh. Dare I play this? Huh? What should I play? I'm recording myself watching YouTube videos. Stroke of genius. Ha! I healed my body. End years of chronic tension and fear. Alright. Ooh. One of my favorite songs. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Should I play one of my favorite songs? It won't come through. It won't come through sound-wise. It won't be worth a crap. Without playing through headphones. Yeah. David Gilmour, Sorrow, live at Pompeii, 2016. Unbelievable concert. I've got it shrink wrapped. Never opened it. After I pass away, somebody will get it. Somebody will inherit it. Unbelievable concert. It's like God came down and played guitar for a night. David Gilmour, live in Pompeii, 2016. Damn. Just wow. What am I supposed to be looking at here? The hidden laws your soul follows after death. Finally revealed. Oh my God, how deep am I going here? This type of eye contact only happens with your soulmate. Oh my gosh. God sends soulmates when He knows you are ready to heal. Heal. This is so deep, some of this stuff. I don't know how they know any of this stuff. How do they know any of this stuff? Hey, Martha. How do they know any of this stuff? Shout out, Hawk. Anywho, speaking of, yeah, there's a short video from him right there. This is what? This is not, I don't have this focused right. This is my first time ever doing this. Yeah, so what the hell? It's actually still recording. I'll be danged. Alrighty. The time-space illusion. God, you're trying to break my mind. And they're doing a good job of it. Because I'm kind of buying into it. I've been kind of buying into it. Elon torches disaster bill as Trump hides, who knows what that word is, awful something? Ooh. Alina Habba may lose her law license? Oh, wow. Probably deservedly so. Government purity tests. Gentleman's Barbershop. Latte ASMR. I haven't watched Latte in a long time. Probably a year. She used to be one of my favorites. But nobody is close to Megan Ben Thinking when it comes to ASMR. Yeah. Iran will have 10 nuclear weapons in a year. %90 of people do not survive spiritual awakening. How do these people know any of this shit? How do they know any of this shit? Twin flame stuff? I never even heard of that till 2 years ago. Never heard of it. Before that, it was like soulmates. But I had given up on soulmate search 20 years ago. Gave up. Yep. And then something even better came along. Something weird happened. Something unbelievable happened. Something unbelievable happened. Malicious compliance in the military parade. Elon ends Trump. What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't know. What am I doing? What am I doing? What? This love was written by God? What love? But the next chapter begins with something unexpected. You were always right. The person on your mind, whatever. Divine message for today. How deep is this going here? You're sending me all this stuff now. Spiritual masters use this to ascend. Live Stargate activation. Motherfucker. 1 hour 44 minutes. Live Stargate activation. Oh, now what the fuck? What? 12 hours ago. 12 hours ago. So the Stargate is open. It must be open. A spiritual master? So it's open. Or it was open, then they closed it again. Alright, I'll bite.
We're here as humans playing hide and seek with ourselves. So there's this vast consciousness that is who we truly are. And I think more and more that is popping in.
And as Jules mentions, the collapsing of society is happening, but underneath, not quite so visible, is this rapid acceleration of consciousness that's happening all over the planet.
What would a human society look like?
This is my tablet over here. I'm watching my tablet.
Compassion, as you said, one of the most important
on the stove. I have it set up.
Well, I think we can all
sitting
imagine
on a
what it would look like.
stool, bar stool.
That's the real
But it's in my
question.
kitchen.
If we can
My TV
look
is
at our own lives and look at the
this way.
struggles that we've gone through and the difficult challenges that
It's-
we've lived through.
That's all I need. And my tablet, which I watch YouTube videos on. TV, nothing on. As far as I'm aware tonight. Oh my God, Live Stargate activation!
Harris and Julianne
Triggers
Connor,
instant
welcome
miracles.
on Just Happen. What are you both most excited about
Prageet
right now,
Harris.
globally and in your
Humanity's
life?
ascension
In
begins.
my life, I'm most
About
excited
time.
being in love
What the fuck?
on like all levels. Like I have a partner I'm in love
What's
with.
been taking
I have
so
work
long?
I'm in love with. I have this expansion of consciousness that I'm totally in love with. And collectively, I'm kind of excited to see how the next 10 years play out. Because it feels very much
10
like
years?
the energies that are coming in are lighting up our consciousness more than ever. The chaos in the world is ramping up.
No
That's
shit.
kind of like excited in a nervous way. And we have so much potential. AI is like a little infant baby who we're teaching it like what we want it to become and
Ah,
things that will later be cemented.
it's
in our
already
societies
taken over, honey.
as this tech develops are now malleable and fluid. So
They're already
time
manipulating
to show
us
up
with
and go
YouTube
forward and
videos.
see in the world.
Completely made up by AI.
For me, I'm super excited about the way that the Stargate experience.
Some
has
of
been
them you don't even know if the
really
people in them are
rapidly
real or not.
accelerating, with a couple of new guys that have been taking people on amazing experiences.
Watch whether or not
So,
they blink.
The acceleration of all things.
A human is
what's
supposed
really
to blink
exciting
between
me.
15 and 20
And
times
as Jules
per
mentions,
minute.
the collapsing of society
Normal
is
average
happening,
human.
but underneath,
You watch
not
these
quite
folks, they
so
don't blink.
visible, is this
Some of them.
rapid acceleration of consciousness that's happening all over the planet, We travel to many different countries, and we just feel the people there are so ready. So much open-heartedness is happening now. So it's a great time, really great time.
Humanity's ascension begins.
And really, to
Let's
begin,
do
I'd
it.
like to ask you both, what do you feel would be the most important thing to know for us to remember
Open things
why
up.
we chose to be here at this time? Jules, you mentioned the next 10 years from now to 2036. Why now, and what can we remember about what we're
2036?
here to do
You
today?
better get working faster than that. I ain't gonna wait around for that shit.
Biochemist,
2036.
genius friend of ours, Ian Mitchell, recently said, like, we're here as humans playing hide and seek with ourselves. So there's this vast consciousness that is who we truly are. And I think more and more that is popping in. And so the thing to remember
What's popping
as
in?
we move through and navigate these times, I think, is like, remember to reset. Remember to realign.
Am I supposed to stand up?
Remember to go beyond who you think you are. Because there's so much support for us to shed the old and embrace
This
the
is my
Yeah, I think it's incredible
old
times,
bar stool
and
from the basement.
Alcazar's said
Brought it up,
many
sit on
times
it,
that we
in the
chose
kitchen.
to be here. We've lived elsewhere before we came into the human body, like hundreds or maybe even as many as thousands of lifetimes ago. We lived in other planetary situations where they'd already reached enlightenment. Humanity is
Have they?
behind in that experience, but we're moving towards a consciousness of enlightenment for the whole planet.
Oh yeah.
And so we came here.
Well, let's get a move on,
we
folks.
chose to be here, and we agreed to forget where we came from. And that over these centuries,
We
we've been
agreed?
mixing
My
and
ass.
merging
I
our
didn't
DNA
agree.
from all these different planetary
I didn't agree to forget.
civilizations, creating something very new. And
If I agreed, then I was
beginning of
lied
this
to.
experience experiment.
If I agreed to come to this planet,
there
I
a
was
shroud
lied to.
placed around the Earth, so that we were virtually invisible to the rest of the universe, and that shroud became much
Because this
stronger
life has
as we
gotten
dropped into
crazy.
unconsciousness. But now it's dissolving as
The
consciousness
shit I've
is
been
rising,
through in my life,
and as
holy
the
fuck.
Earth and humanity are ready to
Damn.
become part of the universe again, in a sense. Now is the time for all of us who chose to be here, who've specifically chosen to be in the body at this time of change.
Really?
It's time to celebrate that and
Celebrate.
call forth that inner knowing that allows us to really open and fulfill what we're here for this time
I didn't
around.
even shave. Damn, look, I didn't even
Beautiful.
shave.
When we connected a few weeks ago, you guys had both just
I mowed the
returned
lawn
from
earlier
a
today.
retreat in the Azores.
That's about my exercise for the
where
week.
ancient Atlantis, it was prophesized to be. But also, you were telling me that you were joined
I should start hitting golf
energetically
balls again.
by humans from an Earth-like planet
I got an indoor
on
thing
the
rigged
far
up.
end of the other spiral arm of the Milky Way, and they've traveled here
No
to assist
visuals.
us in the awakening.
Just
And
a thing
you
to
were
hit
telling me
balls
before the
into.
call that these were humans
And a
that
mat.
didn't go through the downfall of consciousness.
And a radar
So I'm wondering, what are we learning
device,
from them?
small
And also,
thing.
vice versa, what are they learning from us? Which is also an important mirror for them. I would assume so.
Yes, absolutely.
If nothing
And
else,
our
swinging
guide
a golf
also
club
talked
is
about this
exercise.
exchange that actually
And I haven't
occurred.
even,
They
I haven't
brought their
touched a
energy
club in
into the workshop. So just to
2
give
to 3
context,
months.
like when we work with the Stargate, we light up an energy
So,
field.
I don't even
and
know
in
why.
That field, your consciousness expands, and so people have actual energy experiences with these guides. We're not just talking about them. So it's like a space where the downloads are direct, and so people have
downloads. These
profound
people always talking about
experiences.
downloads.
Yeah, we work with the Galactic Command.
How come I don't ever get a download?
Over the years, they've been developing this technique of creating a column of light that comes down over each individual. And when you're inside that cocoon, as they
Column
like
of
to
light
call it, the
comes
energies
down.
that you experience are purely your own. Nothing from outside comes
From
into
where?
the cocoon.
Yeah,
And so
it's a
the
cocoon
Galactic
of
Command
light.
put people in their own individual cocoons, and then individuals from this
I've
other
been in a
human
cocoon of
planet
love, but that was
chose
like
particular participants.
35 years
so
ago.
They came very slowly down that column of light and gently connected, and then if the individual was open, they
There wasn't any
actually
light
started to merge their
with me.
energies. And the overall experience from people as they responded was they felt an incredible love, because this
Yeah,
other human planet has reached
perfect pure
enlightenment.
love.
And so they're very conscious, and so their consciousness vibrated each one of us in that experience. And many people started to actually interact and have conversations with the
Hour
person that visited
45
them.
minutes.
And
Jesus.
when they left, they could feel that their vibration had changed. And we did this a
Yeah.
couple of times actually in the Azores. And
The
another time,
Azores?
2 beings came in.
Is that around
And that was
Spain?
another very different experience and another way of
Azores.
feeling the difference
Azores.
between the individuals.
So,
Yeah,
Like-
well, we're both excited about this.
I am too.
What is going on?
Later on in the workshop, Alcazar was talking about abundance. And when he talks about abundance, he talks about abundance on all levels.
Who's
He
he?
said we need to disconnect abundance with just money. It's abundance of love, abundance of friendship, abundance
Yeah.
of freedom, and
Right?
so on. So it's a total abundance in your lives. And yes,
Yeah.
money is part of that, but it's not the main driver. And so he was talking
Right.
about abundance. And then I
But
got
you
the
gotta have
message,
some.
these humans would like to come in and share their experience of abundance. And so the same thing happened. Cocoon was created, they came down and they vibed their
They
experience
came
of
down?
abundance. And that was very
They
beautiful,
came down.
very powerful.
They.
okay, so people had really cool experiences.
They
One
came down.
That I just
I don't
feel
even
so
know where I'm
called to
supposed to
share
look
is
on this
This
thing.
woman who was kind of estranged
I don't know
from
where
her
to look.
children
I don't know where the
had
camera is.
experience of these ascended humans showing her that in their planetary
And I
society, they gave her this image of
Should I
like
make
a
it
child
wide?
sitting on like a honeycomb.
maybe it should be
And they're saying
wide.
like the children here
No?
are like raised by the
Nah.
whole. And that's why they're so
I'm
healthy.
gonna mess with it.
And like
What's
that
going on
really
here?
stuck with me because it's like
Columns of light are coming down from
you can kind of
above.
start to feel the transmission of like a
At
different
some
type of human society through that. And
weekend
there was another
get-together
one.
in
I
the
had a personal
Azores.
session with someone 2 nights ago, and she was on the live stream, and she told me that like the ascended human that came to her, she has this some
An
kind of
ascended
connection with. And it's
human
like multi-orgasmic,
contacted
and I was like, "That is so cool." And then
Yeah.
Alcazar, our guy,
Sign
came
me
in
up.
and was like,
An ascended
Right?
human.
And Alcazar came in. Well, he was like chatting with
Has
her.
a human
and
ever
he
been
said,
good
like,
enough to
"Do
ascend?
you know each other from the mystery
the
schools of
fuck?
Isis?
Difficult
Because
to
Isis
believe.
is not just on this earth. Like there's temple upon temple upon temple out there in the multidimensional realms." I was like, cool.
Wow. Yeah,
Multi-dimensional.
You mentioned there. the
I've been trying to
commander,
wrap my
Galactic
mind about
Command. And I
multi-dimensional.
learned through you guys that
And
one of
everything's
their
happening
roles
at the
is to
same
record
time.
and keep a true
There's
record
only
of
now-
human history. So I'm
There's
curious to
no
know if they've revealed
history,
at
there's
any
no
point
past,
why
there's
this
no
iteration
future.
of humanity had to go through that downfall.
All
of
of my
consciousness,
memories
whereas
of the
other
past
civilizations like the ones that we're talking about
could have been
didn't have to go
implanted.
through that. What was the deeper layer?
could have been
and
implanted
purpose in that?
today.
Well, I'm not sure whether we had to go
Never
through
even
that.
happened.
This was a
My whole
planet
past
of free
life
will,
never even
and
happened.
that was part of the
What?
experiment, as Alcazar calls it. What would we
They
do
say this is a dream.
given total free will?
This is like a dream.
And if
Damn, how do you wake up from
Pete
this shit?
explained it in the past was that if you've just come from an enlightened society where everything is in the flow, you don't decisions arise.
Well, there are no
You don't
societies
make a
on
mental
planet like that,
decision,
buddy.
as we do
What are you
so
talking
often
about?
here. He said, when you come here into this environment, and you in a choice point, and in the past you would have just literally flowed with the highest. So you were interested, well, what would it be like if I make a different choice and choose something that's not in the highest? And when you do that, your energy
Like
drops
most people.
just a tiny bit. And then another choice point, you choose to be
Or a
experience
very,
what's
very
like
high
different,
percentage of them.
and you drop again. And
Choose
then in the
evil.
end, humanity went down and down and down
Choose
in
greed.
consciousness and
Choose
created
fear.
all the incredible strife
hatred.
and pain and suffering that we're aware of throughout history. And then humanity as a whole
Arrogant
came
ignorance.
to a point of saying, enough. We don't want to live like this. We want to live in love and peace and harmony and abundance. And that's when consciousness started to rise again. So we're on the verge now of coming back and becoming an enlightened society.
Bring in that love shine.
And then humanity has a great gift to share with
Come
the
on,
rest
son.
of the universe.
Kick up that love shine.
And also, for whatever reason,
We evidently need a
there
higher
was a reset
concentration.
needed after Atlantis at a certain
Whatever
point.
units you measure it in.
And Alcazar says that
Turn it
was
up.
meant to be.
Please.
So part of the reason we actually went down so deeply into unconsciousness was to forget who we are. Because what Alcazar has said, our guide, is if we just remembered our star family, for example, like we are all like the living library, as the Pleiadians have said. So like it's in
The
our
Akashic
DNA,
record.
and we've lived elsewhere before we became human. So we're like a
It's
vault
incomprehensible to
of
me.
wisdom from the stars, from other societies. And what Alcazar said is, if we had simply remembered that, we would.
Can things be this magical?
So instead,
My whole
what's
life has
happening
not
on
been magical.
Planet Earth and why it's so unique.
Well,
in the
borderline.
Universe, according to our guide,
Borderline
is that
magical.
we put on the same bodysuit.
Yeah,
We agree
quite
to forget
possibly.
who we are.
There
And
has
things
been some magic.
emerge, and now, as we reemerge into higher consciousness again,
But
and
some
we
folks call it
remember,
insanity.
we create something totally new.
And also, all is not rosy out in the universe. There's conflicts
It
happening
isn't.
out there too. Have been for.
Man, I can't believe I'm just
And my
smoking
feeling is
all the time.
that what humanity
Damn.
is going to share as we evolve and move
Zero
back
sugar.
up into the higher
Pepsi.
frequencies, we are going to
I gotta
be
do
able
I gotta
to
do
share
zero sugar stuff.
conflict resolution. And one of the biggest energies that humanity
As much as I can.
has been developing is compassion. And
Compassion.
that's something which is
Sounds
going to get
good.
much stronger on the planet, and that compassion
Tell
energy,
the evil rulers of the
love
fucking
and
world.
wisdom combined.
How do you convince
When
them?
you share that, it's an opportunity for bringing a whole new level of togetherness
Yeah.
in the universe. And that sounds like a really big job.
Or this is what we
I
need
think
to
we've been
believe.
working on it for many centuries.
Yeah, and compassion is
To get
such a
through.
beautiful word. However, what is it actually like to step into that energy and live through
What do I
compassion?
know?
Because we're seeing in the world
Everything's
around us,
possible.
as you guys mentioned, and I wouldn't
I
be
entertain
able to
all
say
kinds of
that
possibilities.
A lot of our government systems, a lot of institutions are acting through that energy. What would a human society
This
look
guy's
like
channel is what?
through the
Emilio
experience of
Ortiz.
compassion, as you said, one of the most
173,000
Right.
subs.
Well, I think
I've
we
seen
can
him
all
before.
imagine what it would look like. It's how do we get
Not
there?
often.
That's the real question.
Or as I usually say,
And
not
if
often.
we can look at our own lives, and look
Most
at
of
the
my life
struggles
I've
that we've
not
gone
pronounced the
through,
T.
and the difficult challenges that we've lived through,
It happens quite often.
and we would like
There's no
people
T
to
there.
be aware that we
Or
are how
it
we
happens
are
quite
because
often.
of those challenges.
It happens quite often.
So
I've also
those
said that.
experiences might have led us to a place of feeling love and compassionate.
I don't
or
even know.
it's led
I don't
us
even
to
know
a
where
place
this
of being
accent
in
came from.
absolute fear, feeling totally
Sometimes
alone,
I've got like a
grasping
southern
for something
Drawl kind of
help us
accent
feel
creeping in.
alive.
I have no
real,
idea where
safe.
that came from.
And so many people have
I started
grasped
talking like
money
that
and power and domination over others in order to feel safe.
5 years
Like
ago.
a gunslinging
Out of nowhere.
identity here in America, right? Like
I
all
enjoy
kinds
it.
of extremes right now.
Mm.
It just seems
But what I
natural
see
to
in
me now.
Julio, like my
Maybe I'm a
hope and
walk-in.
my prayer, because what's happening
Maybe I'm a
in
freaking
this
walk-in.
country is
Some
so
other soul
wackadoodle.
took over in me.
My hope
Some
is that
southern
it's a bit
guy.
like those Hot Wheels toys, where like you
I'm not in
pull
the
them
South. I'm
back
in
to
Michigan.
get the momentum, and then they would shoot
I don't have
forward.
any
And so
Southern
that's what
relatives.
I see happening here is the way that our social security networks are getting
What are these people talking about? What am I missing? I'm missing stuff here,
just
huh?
cut. Like all of our like safety nets
Social
are getting
Security.
cut.
What are you talking about?
And
Social Security.
I think that it's going to create actually
Just because of the
an
bastards
upwelling of
in
people
power now, huh?
realizing what really matters and wanting the system to start taking care of everyone.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
And
Kinda too
what
late.
Alcazar said
Going
is
through a hell of a battle about that
always
right now.
apparent struggle that's happening out in
Republicans
the world.
want to just
It's
rip out
turning more and more people
all the safety
towards
nets for the poor
meditation.
people.
And to have that
Fuck the poor
feeling,
people, hey
that
Republicans.
emotional feeling is, I don't want to
Give
live
all the
like
money
this
to the
anymore.
billionaires
And when
who don't need
people
a
reach that
fucking penny more.
vibration, because
Give
ultimately
them a
everything
tax
is
break.
vibration. When they start to vibrate, I don't want this.
I can't believe how
anymore. They start
stupid you fuckers
focusing
are.
on wanting peace, wanting community.
Your
And that
hatred
very emotional
of people who
vibration
aren't white
is what's
is so fucking big.
accelerating human consciousness.
You're gonna
and
give every
rising.
penny you got to
And so
billionaires?
the strife in the world
What?
is turning people's consciousness
Holy fuck.
into more positive
I got them living around me.
desires generally.
I mean, it's a bit like hitting rock
Guy to
bottom
my
until you
south.
get your act
Lives
together.
right next door, the house right next door to me to the south. He's got
Yeah, and when we tune into
in
the
his
question,
garage window,
what really matters, I feel that
which
every
faces
individual is going to have a different response. We're going to have
a
8 billion
big
different
window in my
responses.
dining room here.
But looking at it from a wider perspective,
Can't see it
of
from here.
the evolution of humanity, which
Every
you guys
time I look out
is
there,
really
there's this
focused
Trump
on.
flag
If
that he uses
they
as
were
a
to answer
curtain,
that question, what really
illuminated
matters for
backlight,
humanity,
illuminated
what do you think?
24/7
Abundance
since the
on
day
all
he
levels
moved in.
for all of us.
I look out that window and there's
And
Trump
beloved one, we greet thee,
sign,
it is
flag,
Alcazar.
illuminated.
So perhaps we can answer
What
that
the
question
fuck?
for you. As has already been mentioned,
The house to my north.
humanity will be a
Both
great
racist
gift to
assholes.
the universe.
Trump supporting the racist
Is
pigs.
perhaps the main focus
Sad,
of the
ignorant people.
assistance that's being given to
mean
humanity.
people.